Hey guys, this is Starry from StarrySky Gaming, and welcome to this Game Update 30 Electric Revamp video. Now, this video is going to be a two-parter. So the first part we're going to be looking at is going to be the voltage tree, and then in part 2, which will also be uploaded, we'll be looking at the amperage tree, since there are a lot of changes to be looked at. Okay, so in the voltage tree, there has been changes to Tesla Blast. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to go through all the powers one by one. Holy crap, there's a lot. Okay, so voltage tree, Tesla Blast. They've reduced the animation time and reduced the time between the two damage ticks. So Tesla Blast. Alright, so let's get that and have a look. So they've reduced the animation time and reduced the damage in between the two ticks. So fair enough. What about Weapon Mastery? Animation time still seems quite long, but you know, the damage is still fairly decent, I guess. Okay, so the next one is Electro Burst. God, I gotta try to remember which one Electro Burst is. Are they sure they got the... Oh right, there it is, my bad. Okay, so Electro Burst. Blast out a wave of electric gain, knocking it down, adds to electro charge to cause damage over time. Oh, sorry, adds an electro charge to cause damage over time. Electrified enemies will heal nearby allies. Oh. That's an inhibitor roll. Okay, so we get Electro Burst. So what they've changed to it is they've reduced the animation time, removed the instant damage, okay, increased the damage over time duration, adjusted the damage delay to match the animation, add an electro charge to cause damage over time in both rolls. Healer damage over time will not override DPS damage over time. So alright, so gotta say it doesn't seem too extravagant. Knocking them down. Okay, so it just doesn't do instant damage, it just does the healing damage over time. Not much damage over time though. Okay, so Shockwave's the next one. Performs an electrical charge hand clap that sends a shockwave forward, damage your enemy. Electrified enemies take more damage and that may become rooted and forcefully explode. Okay, so the shockwave no longer removes the electrified power interaction after a knockdown, reduces the delay before an electrified enemy gets knocked down, increases the range to hit for maximum target distance. Right. Sorry. Got a bit of a cold. Right, so they've increased the distance on it. Good. So it does for Weapon Mastery. Okay, so let's electrify it and see what kind of damage it does as well. An electrified almost hits 3k. That's pretty good actually. Okay, so next, Arc Lightning. Now, Arc Lightning electrifies enemies that are hit by the lightning, reduces the power cost, heals the user on cast when in healer roll. Obviously, I can't show that. The lightning can now arc from two from the caster. Choose group members instead of allies for the first two healer jumps. It does really sounds like they have done this one on workover. Strike a target with a bolt electric and it can jump 2 and damage more enemies, or jump 2 and heal allies. It does seem like some of the changes they've made though seem quite good. So yeah, power cost is definitely a lot better than what I used to. So now electrifies enemies, so obviously we can see the electrified effects. So that's good as well. Can't show the healing side to it since I'm not taking any damage from aspiring targets. Okay, so next, Tesla Ball. Creates a slow moving ball of electricity above your target that zaps enemies, damages them. Electrified enemies take more damage. Okay, so let's make sure we have an electrified thing in our loadout. Tesla Ball. So Tesla Ball spawns a ball above your target, slowly moves towards it, zaps enemies at max range, no longer electrifies enemies but instead deals extra damage to electrified enemy. Reduce the power cost, reduce the cooldown. Okay, so first of all let's check this out then. Right, so max range. Holy crap, really? That is so slow. You must have said we're going to go AFK or something. Like, there's the ball, I'm going to go AFK. Okay, so let's see the damage for electrified. Does into quite a bit of damage, but I still think that skill needs a lot of work. Not too sure about that one at all. Okay, so wired. The first weapon attack used after wired will electrify your target, your ally's target as well, adds a might buff. Right. So each hit on an enemy has a chance to electrify, making them vulnerable to electric power interaction. The power increases your might and critical attack chance. At least I've given it a buff. Right, so obviously we want to use it. Electrified enemies, that's good. Let's see the buff it gives. So, wired. So it gives a 15% might increase, and it gives a 10% critical for 12 seconds. I think it should give more than 15% since might is not as strong as precision. I mean, it buffed me up to 4.5k might. I don't think my might was that high before. I think it was below 4k when it wears off. 3.9k. So with almost 4k precision, it buffed it, let's just say around 600 almost. Either way, it's still good viable. So it's a good change. Electrogenesis. Reduce the cooldown. The DPS and healing versions now use a shared cooldown. The healing version aura will now go to the closest group member. Adds an electro charge to cause damage over time in DPS role. Right, so okay, so they've reduced the cooldown. Yeah, that's the cooldown. It's definitely a lot quicker. Unfortunately, sparring targets and layers are really buggy, and it never shows up the full damage, which is really disappointed. I'm sure they. I would have thought they would have fixed that by now. So increases the potential of electro charge damage over time effects. Either way, it's a good change. Let's just have a look at the description of it. Adds an electric charge to cause damage over time. Well, it already did that. But either way, the changes to it haven't been good. So far, the changes they've made to electric are seeming quite good. Okay, so up next is Voltaic Bolt. Okay, so it's this one. Increase the range to hit from maximum target distance. Will now deal damage over time, even if you are only targeting one electrified enemy. Refreshes the electrified power interaction state. Increases the potential of electrocharge damage over time effects. Damage to enemies is no longer split with objects. Sounds pretty strong. Electrified enemies will be electrified. Right. Again, and cause the damage over time to themselves and to the others around them. It seems so broken. Increase the potential of electrocharge effects on enemies. So basically, this will increase the chances of the effects from electrocharge, which is like electrogenesis and electroburst. Wow, electric is really going to be strong. Okay, let's have a look. It's a I can't believe it's a self-electrifying effect as well. So strong. Right. So voltaic bolt. Actually, let's check that. We need to check out the distance first. I hate sparring targets and layers. They are so. They're so buggy. And that's got the electrified effect on it. They really need to fix sparring targets in layers. Come on, keep the electrified on there long enough so we can see the damage. I need more power. Right, so my sparring target is really being a pain in the ass. So, that's the changes to it anyway. It now hits from maximum distance, it deals damage over time, even if you are only targeted by an electrified enemy. Unfortunately, I can't show the damage over time because it won't. The electrified effect will not stay on my sparring targets for such a long. Fair enough. I might just actually make a video on how buggy the sparring targets are and send it into them. Right. So, Megavolt. I actually don't have enough supercharge to show that. Reduce the supercharge cost to 50%. Well, I can show that. So Megavolt's been changed from 50% down to 50%, which is good. And they've lowered the damage on it to match similar abilities. So apparently it might have been doing too much damage, which I didn't think it was in the first place, but so they've lowered it to 50% and they've reduced the damage on it. We'll have to see what it's like with weapon masteries. Also, Group Transducer now has a heal over time. The heal based on incoming damage will always trigger. Fair enough. I guess it wasn't triggering before. Okay, Bioelectric Surge is next. Has a new power interaction that heals any group member that is biocharged. Right. Heals biocharged groups. I'm assuming biocharge must come from the one in this tree. Grants a biocharge to yourself or free of a group member. So biocharge is a power interaction which biocapacity gives. Is that safety buff basically. So biocharge is the safety buff. Okay, so Bioelectrical Surge. Such a bioelectric restores health to yourself and the most injured group member. It heals bio. So basically anyone with that safety buff on it, which is biocharged, will also get a heal. Nice. That's actually really good. I like that change. And finally, Ionic Drain. What have we done to this one? The healer version no longer stuns, but hits up to 8 group members, and will continue healing if your target is KO'd. Fair enough. I thought it should have done that anyway. The DPS version channel time has been reduced and deals more damage to your target if the heal is below. So basically, they've made it kind of like a finisher. Okay, so right, let's put it on my loadout for damage and for healer. Yep, so it's definitely can become a finisher. Alright, healer roll, so it doesn't stun. And it continues to heal. Oh, so that's the animation for it. And very flashy. Kind of cool. They even took the galvanize effect around it. Does look pretty badass. Nice. Liking these changes so far? Okay, guys. So that does it for these effects. What I should say, this does it for all of the changes in the in the voltage tree. So thank you very much for watching this. Please let me know what you think of these changes. Part 2 will be uploaded soon. So until next time, guys, I'll see you then.